Hey, what's up, everybody? Wardrobe here, and Jeff from Hex to Hex. And we thought we'd come out with the breaking news. Multi-Man Publishing, aka MMP, is came out with their anticipated 2023 production list. And I was sitting there on chat going, "Oh, I think I want to get this. I want to get this, Jeff. I want to get this and this." And then I said, "Maybe we should just chat about it online." He was like, "Oh, brother, do we have to do that? Mute your phones."
That was you going live.
Oh, oh, never mind. Don't mute your phone. Anyway, so we're just going to go through this and just chat about it. We don't want to go longer than an hour because you might fall asleep in about 10 minutes. So, but we would kind of just go through this methodically and see. I'm going to try to take notes, and then I'll share a screen about what we think we're going to buy, not buy, maybes, yeses. And this would be a great discussion. So, man, as we're going through this list, or if you've already made it, start putting in what you're going to get and what you think you want to get, or what were you disappointed not to see something and all that stuff. So
let's see how you compare to us.
Yeah, let's see how you just compare to us. Let's see. We got 4 people watching. I think what I'm going to do here. Oh, I was going to do that little countdown thing, but I'm not going to do that, man. You people who are here, let us know who's here, by the way. I think one of them is Jeff. So don't say, well, I guess you can say you're here, Jeff, so we get some commenting action. Also, can you all see that? It looks like you should be able to. Okay. I mean, it's kind of a long list here and small font, but I appreciate the team putting this up. Now I'm looking at the Facebook post. Jeff said he saw it on Consum World. And so we'll, I'm sure it's going to be in a lot of places. So, okay. They start out with, I wonder why they start out with this. Well, maybe because it starts with A, or maybe it's because it's their dog. It's their main dog. It's their main cow, Moo, which, by the way, there are cows in the new historical ASL module.
I saw that in your unboxing.
Oh, what a great advertisement. Please go watch my video now. Not now.
In an hour.
Okay. All right, let's just go through these. So they're going to do now we understand that some of this will and will not come out in 2023, of course, but a Winter Offensive Bonus Pack 14 2023 has been released. I did not get that and probably won't. St. Mary-Église Hassel has been released. I did get that. Jeff did order it very late, like a couple days ago, so he won't get it for another month or two. Not even sure he'll play it, but it's a hassle, and he said he's going to buy those. Is that what you said, Jeff?
I did.
So that's kind of my focus too on ASL, except for the main core modules. Though I didn't get Hakapale. I don't know.
Was Hakapale, was that hassle?
That's Finland. It's kind of a mini core module. It's Finland, I think some Russians and some other stuff. I'm not sure. You get some Finnish in Beyond Valor, but I think it expanded their tanks they use, because I think they use both German and so I definitely use German tanks, right? But
right.
So I think there's a little bit of that. So anyway, so that's the core module I haven't gotten. I don't know if I'll ever need it. So the Marco Polo Bridge Hassle will go on pre-order, and that's for full ASL. We'll cover it again here in just a minute. It's Pacific, so that's not normally my thing, but I probably would get it. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, yeah, Pacific, not my thing either. But like I say, I've been fortunate enough that somebody sent me all of the squad leader stuff or ASL stuff. So,
do you think that's a maybe, or?
Yeah, I mean, if it's historical, I'll probably get it, because there's no reason for me to buy anything that's not. It's like you said, what are the odds of me playing all of that stuff anyhow?
Right.
But it'd be kind of nice to have all the pieces of all the historical pieces.
Yep.
Of the series.
Hex to Hex is here. Okay, so anyway, I see we've got 7 people on. Just let us know who you are, what you're doing, and what you think, what you're excited about, sad about, whatever is coming out. We're not coming out. So I will get that, and so I put so Jeff said yes. So I'm going to be typing here, everybody. So you're going to hear me kind of pause for a minute while I do this. We got ASL Journal 14 will be released now. This was a maybe for me. I didn't get 13 because, again, I'm not going to do the geomorphic board scenarios that much. And though I think sometimes, what's that?
Starter kit geomorphic to learn, I will.
Oh, yeah. That yes. Now, I guess I should step back. I think they've done this before where ASL Journal 14. Oh, I really should put this on the like MMP. I can't put it on the MMP site. Well, whatever. Anyway, the journal, I think in the journal, they sometimes do put scenarios that are for some of their historical modules. Like they might put more Red Barricades, or they might put more Marco Polo scenarios once that comes out. So that's something to be aware of, actually. I should probably pay attention to that. If you know, you understand what I'm saying, Jeff?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Marco Polo Bridge. But I don't know why, for some reason, that says Korea to me.
Well, it's coming out in starter kit too, so I don't think it is. I think it's just Japanese. They say you just need ASL SK4 for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think so. I'm not really clear what that is.
Hexes and Soldiers down south. He's with us.
Oh, sweet. Nice to have you here, man. Oh, you got St. Mariglace. Cool. Yeah, I agree with you. 3 in 2023 does seem pretty optimistic. Let's see here. Okay, so anyway, so Journal 14, I'll have to pay attention if they have scenarios for the HASLs. The journals do have pretty cool articles though. And if they release them on PDF, I would probably be more interested. If they're not going to have, well, even if they are going to have hassle scenarios, that's the way I'd get it. I think I'd do those in PDF, unless, as in Journal 14, let's scroll down here. I made some comments and I said, will it have a historical module attached to it? Multi-Man wasn't sure. Scott Blanton came on and said it's going to be Anzac focused, the journal is, and does include a hassle map and scenarios. And Perry came on and said, Sparrow Force on Timor. I don't know what that means, but that's pretty cool. So another Pacific one. So that will be a yes for me, because it'll include a map, Jeff, a historical map. So
right. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that between the two of us, that's the biggest key is looking at the pretty historical maps.
I think so, yeah. So I'm putting you for a yes on that one for now. I think no, I think you're all right. I think you got a big purchase you might be making here in this year, so you're kind of actually going to be a little bit conservative on your buying. It sounds like this year on games.
Ooh, now that intrigues me. Doug Blyert says, "Jap, it's." You know me, I'm always talking about playing a game of China versus Japan.
Yeah, that's right. That is Marco Polo.
Yeah.
That's right. And yeah, perfect. Thank you for that. I actually read about that in this history of Japan in World War II. And yes, cool. Well, thank you for saying that. So I think that's a definite for Jeff for sure. He's always wanting a game about that. Ponri, HAS, historical module. We'll go on pre-order. Jeff and I are both yes on that, of course. Mm-hmm. Because it's Ponroy and it's East Front. So Jeff is a yes on that.
Yes. That should be a yes-el, not a hassle.
Yep. All right. Contested Lands, hassle, 1948 Arab Israeli conflict. We'll go on pre-order. No.
Pass.
Yeah. Neither one of our things. And like I said, like Hexes and Shoulders said, as you know, some of these won't come out. It depends how much progress I think Marco Polo's got some pretty good progress on it. So maybe that one. I don't know. I have not really heard of the Ponray one or Contested Lands in any of the chatter. Maybe if you're on a lot of the forums, you might see some stuff about it. But so none of that. Reprint of Armies of Oblivion will go on pre-order. So I put a maybe on this one, and I say a maybe on Armies of Oblivion because I have it. But if they include, like they've done on when they re-released Croix de Guerre, they put a historical ASL game in it, I'll get it.
Which would be the same for me because I have it too.
Yeah.
See, that's desert or Mediterranean.
Armies of Oblivion are the minor access minor countries.
Okay. All right.
Like Hungary, Romania, things like
that. Oh, okay. Well, that would have East Front stuff in it.
Yes. The scenarios in there will be more East focused, yes.
Okay, that's a maybe on my list too.
Okay. And please correct me if I'm wrong, everyone, but I think I got that right. The Armies of Oblivion is Axis Minor. All right, so Doom Battalions will be coming out. I do not have that, so that is a definite yes.
What is it?
Doom Battalions is Allied Minors. Do you already have that one?
It doesn't ring a bell. I don't know.
I'll put a maybe on there for you. No, here's the deal. I found someone was selling the pieces for Doom Battalions, and I think just the pieces, maybe the scenarios. I think it's just the pieces, and I bought it so I could have them for because it's got French and some other stuff in there. Well, actually, it wouldn't have France. Oh, it has a Belgians and stuff. So that I think that was in a hassle that I bought. Okay, so where are we? We're contested, Army of Oblivion. Oh, this is a big one. I skipped over here. Solitaire ASL. Now, you said maybe, but you already own it because someone got that for you.
Right.
I'm a maybe on it because wait, did I not even put that in here? So I'm a maybe on it because so, as far as I know, Jeff, the Solitaire ASL scenarios are designed. Their scenarios are designed specifically for Solitaire ASL. Someone has put out not a fix, but kind of a version that you can play some of the Red Barricade or something scenarios using a solo ASL, like they've rebuilt scenario or done scenarios for that. But
right.
But for the most part, you can't just put Solitaire ASL with some random scenario out of the pack, out of Doom Battalions.
I'm not completely sold on solitaire systems anyhow.
Yeah, I've been watching crap. I don't have his channel memorized. I've been watching a guy play it. It's pretty cool. Like it's not too it's interesting. So I'm kind of a maybe on that. I'll have to. It would be cool if you could port them to the scenarios. So like if I wanted to play Hat and Flame solo, I could do that. But I mean, you can. I guess it'd just take a lot of work. You got to figure out all the stuff. But
Panyuri has been in the works for years.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's pretty close then, or further along than I think. Cool. Yeah, if you don't mind reading the comments, Jeff, that'd be great. Because I kind of cover any other comments.
Hex Soldiers follows up, but there's already 2 Solitaire editions out. Do we really need a third?
Mm.
Well, I mean, so my question would be, so I only have the one back there. I never looked at it. I don't know what version it is. I'm sure additions get made, but are there drastic changes to that stuff? Jester, don't buy anything, buddy, because Todd's going to sell you everything he buys at a great price.
Oh, yeah. Jester, you can reach me at...
You're such a sucker. I mean, you love to buy all these games.
Thanks, Jeff. ID, you can call me at 1-800. Okay. Yeah, I guess the reason that can come out is because it's not necessarily easy to find. So it's kind of cool that they'd put it out there for all the players that don't have it. I think it would do well, I think. Okay, so that's that on that. We got Doom Battalions. ASL starter kit.
Yay.
So they have an ASL SK Marco Polo bridge.
Okay, hold on a second. Now I am confused. Why? What's the Marco Polo up top?
The same one. It's the same area, same battles. They'll probably be very similar scenarios, but they said that they were having a hard time because it's Pacific. There's a lot of things at Pacific and full ASL that they didn't cover in the starter kit 4. Okay. So what they're doing is
buy 2 of them.
You don't have to. Which one would you want it in? I put that I would get both. They wanted to make it one pack.
Starter kit is a definite.
Okay.
The other one will be a maybe now.
Okay.
I mean, if the components in the game are going to be the same looking wise, I don't see any reason for me to buy both.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know, maybe the scenarios are going to be significantly different, but I think they wanted to combine them, but they decided against it, which I don't know. I can't decide. I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. So I guess I'm probably a little bit of a maybe on getting both of them, but we'll see. You can see ownership of ASL SK4 will be required to play that. Now, this is cool. An ASL SK magazine should be released.
Definite.
Yeah, I agree. That is a definite. I did not put that down for you for that. Let me put that on Jeff's list here.
Advanced Squad Leader Spotting Round channel is doing a solo Valor of Gut. Valor I don't know what that means. Oh, Avalon of Guards. Valor of Guards.
Yeah, Valor of the Guards.
Okay.
So Doug's having a little trouble typing tonight. Man, cut back on the sauce. It'll be fine. It's okay. Anyway, cool. That thank you. That is Valor of the Guards. You're right.
Okay.
And thank you for calling out his channel. I could not remember the name of his channel, but I've been on there so much that he's named one of the leaders after me. ID Jester, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that you took the loan out.
Yeah, third mortgage. Yeah,
it's your responsibility to pay for it, not mine. I'm not. Hey, man, it was your choice. All right, back to before I get in trouble with Jester. All right, Battalion Combat Series,
all
BCS.
of them.
Valley of Tears, Arab Israeli.
No.
All right, next. Great campaigns.
No. Let's go back to this Battalion Combat Series question here.
Why?
Let's talk about the wardrobe in the Battalion Combat Series.
Oh, don't. I'm embarrassed. Darn it.
If that was a World War II game, i.e. the one that we were talking about earlier, Velikaia Luki, would you be buying that game?
I would put it as a maybe.
All right.
I have a feeling I have no idea of how far they are in that. So that would be they didn't put it. It's not in their production schedule to put it as a pre-order. So it makes me think they're not far enough in it. I'm struggling with BCS, everyone. I've had some really great people play it with me, both virtually and in person. And I'm struggling with that thing, but I don't know why. It's just not sinking in. But and Arab Israeli is not my thing. Can we move on? Thank you.
Sure,
great.
Go ahead. Short show. I know.
Great campaigns.
We already got them. We already got them. It's going to be released.
Under Richmond will be released, and I've got that pre-ordered, and so does Jeff. Skirmisher 4, it is on my list. I did not put it on for Jeff because he doesn't know.
Yeah, I still need 2. I still need 3.
And supposedly he's some sort of a American Civil War guy, but yeah, whatever.
I just don't read.
Yep. Okay, and I don't know what that's supposed to cover in there.
All of them except for this one, Jester.
What would you recommend in the BCS series, man? I cannot recommend something. I've had a hard time with it. But you wouldn't recommend Panzer's Last Stand. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, the game mechanics are the same, just got some different rules or different activation rules.
Jester, I don't know. I mean, what they say was a good one. Was it Baptism or what's the one they always say?
Well, Good Learning one is one of the 2 desert ones.
Well, they got Air Corps now.
Oh, Air Corps is a good one too.
So Air Corps, Jester, if desert's your thing, then pick one of the 2, Baptism by Fire, Brazen Chariots. And I think it's Baptism because that starts out with a few. Anyway, I don't know. I'm talking on my butt. But Air Corps' West Front. It is a one mapper. There's very few pieces on there to start. They've got some really good starter scenarios. It is a good, and it's not that expensive. I think it's still available, so I'd go with that one. Let's see here. Okay, speaking of that. No, not speaking of that. Speaking of nothing similar at all. Grand Tactical Series. Work will continue on the reprint of Devil's Cauldron. I find this interesting. I mean, I thought they converted it where they weren't going to change. They're not going to change anything, I don't think, right? They were.
Yeah, makes me a little nervous because I have the green box, but right. I have not pre-ordered this one here because I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. So, it would be awesome. It's great. The details, that system is so awesome. I sold someone my GTS Greatest Day. No names will be mentioned. Because I just was like, man, there's so much here to make the decision cycle is just crazy. And I'm playing in a GTS campaign they started a couple weeks ago, like earlier this month. And I just really joined in last night for the first time. And I had a very good time playing it because I'm just playing one division. So I don't have to think about a whole lot. And they gave me a nice, easy one.
Okay, so Jester says BCS better than GTS because he likes GTS. So which would you prefer? Well, me because I haven't played GTS, it's BCS. Todd is probably going to say GTS right now for the moment.
Right now, but BCS is so much more approachable, really. I mean, for most people, and because one, you can have a game that's a one mapper, and even the big ones are 2 maps or 3, and you can. It is less complex of a game in my opinion, BCS, even though I'm struggling with it, but that's just me. I mean, it's a different level of game. Not really. I don't know. It's hard to compare the two.
Right.
I was thinking about that today earlier, and I'm just like, you just can't really compare them.
Yeah, and I see the BCS system as one of the top 10 systems.
It sure seems like it. I mean, people are really liking it. It's replacing OCS for people, even though again, it's not that same scale, but
right.
And because it's got a lot of cool, unique things in it. And I guess the Panzer's Last Stand introduced some other things to make it even better. So it's a tough one, Jester. I think buy everything. I've got the whole set of BCS if you want to buy them from me. Yeah. Come on, Jester. Come on.
I'm not touching. We were talking about this before. I'm not touching any more GTS purchases or anything till Todd goes through his playing of it. And then I'll determine if it's that good for him, then I know it'll be that good for me.
So I'm going to put, because I did already do this. I did pre-order the magazine, and Jester, that one, you already know you like GTS, you said. So I did get the magazine really for the first reason is Ty, who I know is put some time and energy into that, and I want to support him on that. And 2, it's a one mapper, I believe. And so it might be a nice way to kind of move into it, or kind of just have it but not have the greatest day. Right? I mean, as I'm playing it with these guys, you see all the details in the greatest day. Gold Suno George, oh goodness, nice speaking. The British ones, Commonwealth. It's pretty amazing. I mean, if anything, just the history, the unit, you can learn a lot. Some great work goes into those. So in some ways it's almost again, like I bought Atlantic Wall. It's almost worth having in your collection, even though that's not really how I usually operate. So yeah, Hex to Hex, Jeff and I are kind of like, let's see what Todd does after April. So, Okay, boy, that's a long time on that. International Game Series. Nope, neither one for
Andrew is. Remember, don't forget Andrew. He is.
I have a little section here for McMurray. He's definitely getting Storm Over Jerusalem. He's already got it pre-ordered. He likes all eras of warfare, but this is an interesting one. And I encouraged him that the Storm Over system is really good, and it's a pretty straight 8 pages of rules. It's pretty small, and he'll crank through that thing in no time at all. So he got that. He didn't get Crown and Crescent though, I don't think. So he's got 2 of them on the list, and we'll get to the next one later. Any comments here?
Nothing new, just Jester talking about GTS.
Okay, so you'll get the thanks ID. It makes me warm in my heart. Yeah, the magazine's gonna be cool, I think. And yeah, we want them to release more stuff like that, right? So that's another reason to support.
Well, and that's what's, I think there's the stinger right there. You've got BCS, you've got GTS, and you've got Line of Battle, all just amazing systems, but there's not enough there yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, BCS has really cranked out some stuff. I mean,
we got 5.
Yeah. Brazen, Baptism, Panzer's Last Blitzkrieg, AeroCorps. Why do I feel like I'm missing one?
I think that's it.
So 5 plus the magazine, plus they do the Arab Israeli. A lot of people are excited about that Arab Israeli. I don't even know. Have they pre-ordered that? Does that say it's going on pre-order, or it is pre-order?
Jester, I know you're pulling my leg.
It will go on pre-order. Okay.
ACW. It's like my GB ACW stuff.
If you're serious, wait, was he just joking?
Yeah, he's got to be.
He asked it twice. So if you're serious, Jeff will be glad to explain it. But let's talk about Line of Battle. I will not be getting that. GCACW is kind of my one I'm going with. It's kind of my level of involvement I want to get in ACW, and I had a great time. But Jeff, you?
I will definitely buy it. And right now I'm saying I'll buy it because it'll be a part of the collection building part of it. And of course, we were talking earlier, even Nick Rosser even told me that of the 3 that are released, really the Gettysburg one is the only one, if you're going to play a campaign type thing, because apparently the Antietam one and the Monocacy one have too many little weird hiccups in them. So a wilderness game. And of course, I think Dean just test played it over here at that thing in Baltimore or Maryland a couple weeks back. So
I think so.
That thing might, who knows? I mean, if Dean's already test played it, that pre-order might pop and be out before the year's over. But a lot of people that are viewing and commenting on my channel, watching me test play the wilderness for GBACW, their money's on, well, if it's GMT, their money's on GMT.
Right. Well, why don't you explain Line of Battle real quick, just so
all right. So MMP, the gamers went through 3 iterations. They had the Civil War Brigade series, then they had Regimental Sub-Series. Regimental Sub-Series, from what I gather, was far too difficult because it was a regiment level game using pretty much the rules of the core rules of the Civil War Brigade series, which are order writing, very detailed. So they built the system Line of Battle to minimize some of that. And I will say this, if you've not played a monster ACW game at the regiment level, the flow for the Line of Battle series will be easier on you. But if you want all the crunch and whatnot, right down to command and everything, then you're going to want to go with the Great Battles of American Civil War. So they're monster games. The game for Line of Battle, the Gettysburg game for Line of Battle, I think it has 4 maps, but I believe you can play it on 2. They have a smaller area you can play it on. Antietam, I think, is a 2-mapper, and Monocacy Junction is a 2-mapper. So they're regiment level Civil War games. So you do not play them overnight. So Jester, your 1-hour plays at night of every game, that would not be on your list.
You know what I want to do real quick, and this seems kind of silly maybe, but just to make sure, I was making a huge assumption, which is probably mostly accurate, but just in case people don't know the systems, Advanced Squad Leader, quote, ASL, is, of course, each stand is a squad, and you're fighting, a platoon, a company versus a platoon company up to a battalion. Very detailed, 100-page rule book, super crazy. I mean, it's been around 40 years. Tons of content on it, a big community. Definitely old school. It's designed 40 plus years ago and more. But anyway, that's ASL. ASL starter kit is pared down, maybe 20, 30 pages of rules and a lot of stuff taken out, but it's still a very good game. Lots of people just stick with that and only play starter kit, and it's great. There's 100 plus official scenarios plus extras. BCS, Battalion Combat Series, is you're commanding. Well, each counter is a battalion, but you're really commanding divisions, right, Jeff? Is that right?
Yeah. Divisions, yeah.
Yeah. So you really you're trying to keep them all grouped together. You're not sending stuff all over. Very new system, relatively speaking, compared to these others, and very unique and lots of cool things in it. Lots of simplifications that Dean and team have learned over the years of running OCS and all these other systems that we'll talk about. So that's that. Great Campaigns of the American Civil War is just that. It's campaigns. So it's large swaths. The maps are quite large. There's basic rules and advanced rules. You get in each box so much game in each box because the way the game plays, it's insane. Like one scenario with 2 turns, it can be played in many different ways. A lot of ACW, Jeff, I'm not giving you much of a chance to talk here, but of ACW fans, like hardcore, like Jeff, and I've heard this from them saying, well, sometimes it starts to get it gets ahistorical quickly because of the stuff that can happen, because it's so large and it's a little, it's not simple game, but is that accurate? Or
yeah, no, that's good. It's like an OCS for the Civil War or BCS for the Civil War. It's an operational level game.
Yeah, that's good.
And I mean, you can play the big campaigns out of each box, which are fine. I don't. Most of the boxes are 2 maps. I don't know how many are bigger. Of course now, with the new that they did, with MMP redoing all the old Avalon Hill ones, they put multiple games into each box. So,
yeah, and they can be pricey. Like the one onto Richmond is 165 pre-order. I mean, that's a lot of money, but I guarantee you're gonna get so much game for that. But anyway, I've picked it because it's a little simpler. I don't need the formations and all the details about the kind of rifles they're shooting, etc. But I can understand why someone would like that. So anyway, so that's great campaigns. I don't need the Grand Tactical Series is each counter is a company, and it is grand. I mean, even the small, they have a couple small ones, but like it's got the Greatest Day and it's gold Juno sword. It's a lot. There's a lot of things, and there's lots of mechanics in there that it's very complex. And I say complex because it's getting the systems to work together, and the decision cycle is complex. That's it. The decision cycle is complex, similar to OCS, but in my view on that. But it's grand tactical, so you're commanding each unit is a company, but you're really commanding battalions and divisions and that. International Game Series just means that it's games that are designed by international designers. So there is really not any connection like between Storm Over and Crown and Crescent. There's no connection to that. Some of them do have connections, just not particularly those.
And the systems aren't specific. Each one may be different.
Yeah. I mean, like they have a Victory Denied, a Victory Await. Those are similar, but you know it because it's kind of similar designer or the same designer. Line of Battle, Jeff just explained. Okay, now we can move on. Sorry, I just felt like I should do that. So OCS, Operational Combat Series. This is where you're commanding. Each unit is a regiment,
right?
Battalion, maybe, depending. And it's divisions, and it's huge. It's 50 pages of rules. Again, it's complex, but again, I think the complexity comes in the decision cycle, right?
Yeah. I mean, the organizational parts of that game are tough.
You got to plan ahead.
Yes.
So you can't just send troops willy-nilly going everywhere because you need supply for combat, and that's huge. Okay. That said, Crimea will go in pre-order. Crimea is a part of, and I don't, what are they calling it? What's that system they're calling with the kind of subsystem of OCS? But it's the third winter started it. Crimea, Hero City, Leningrad is kind of the whole East Front in like 43, I believe.
Yeah, well, and Crimea would have been Army Group South from the time they went after Sevastopol until the end of the war. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about what they're. Do we have any info on this game? What's going to be there?
A little bit. I mean, you kind of have to dig into the OCS, probably Consim World and the Facebook pages where they've talked a lot about it. Actually, where you go for that kind of information is OCS Depot.
Depot, right? Okay.
And I think they linked that from the MMP site. Tons of information. They do so, like MMP has done for this. They do for OCS, just OCS. It's really one of the best like pre-look aheads that is out there, in my opinion.
Hey, Dev, good evening.
Hey, Dev, the OG. So, yeah, they do a very good job, that team of developers, about what's coming, what it's about. So go check it out there and get more detail. But anyway, Crimea will go on pre-order. Jeff, yes or no?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
East Front, World War II, Jeff's in.
Yep, Uncle Eric.
Oh, boy. And yes, I put that I will. I've kind of tuned into my OCS collecting because, I got to build up my inventory when I start selling to Jester. Okay, so Operational Matters 2 with a game on Luzon. Now, not normally something I'd go for. Burma was fun. I did play Burma last year at an April convention. Luzon will be, it's Philippines, right?
Yep.
And we'll go in period. And Operation Matters is fantastic. I've got the first one. We'll talk about that in a minute. Jeff, in or out?
Yes.
All right, let me type that in here. You're not really a Pacific Front guy, is it? Or are you talking?
No,
about
but I like the system, and I have Burma also, and I have an itch to play it, but I got other things I got to do. It's the system. OCS. That's the thing about OCS. It's not. While granted, I prefer East Front for everything. That's one where the system I'll play it anywhere World War II.
Yeah, right. Okay.
maybe even Vietnam. I may even consider Vietnam, and I've got the Korea one too. So.
Oh yeah, they do have a Korean one. So yeah, yeah. I didn't really talk about the eras some of these cover, but OCS is prime World War II, except for Korea. Okay, so this is interesting to me that they're doing this. So Operation Matters magazine is cool. They just got lots of, like how to do well in Smolensk. Here's how to handle this attack or this strategy here for different games. Kind of, and it seemed like they kind of covered like supply in one, air in one, artillery in one. I don't know, but anyway. So kind of a cool magazine, and it's kind of nice for a beginner. I think that's kind of part of the thinking on it. So there was Operational Matters 1 with OCS Sicily 2 in it. It's going to go on pre-order. They're going to redo it, which I find fascinating that they're going to do that. I own that one. I probably won't get that. You said that's a maybe for you.
Yeah, because I need to know if the one I got, if it's literally just going to be a reprint, literally nothing changing, then there's no reason. Maybe I grab it if it's inexpensive, it's $60 or something like that, and have it around for old age or second copy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they're changing. I can't imagine they'll change it much, but
yeah, that was a maybe.
Now, to people out there, people argue about Sicily 2 if that's a good starter, and one reason it's not is because it's a few reasons. One, there's landings, and that's always a little weird and kind of quite different, and it just kind of can be difficult. So maybe that makes it tougher. 2, I've heard it's kind of a grind, right? The action really happens at the beginning with the landings and in the kind of that East Coast side of it, and then it kind of slides down and ground as they kind of work their way towards Messina. But and then the other one is oh shoot, there was another reason. Oh crap. Oh, it may not represent the OCS system best because OCS shines on, frankly, the East Front.
Or France early war.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just a consideration. So it's not necessarily for beginners, but it does help. And I think Luzon sounds like it might be a little bit more so. I don't know.
Gamer Hudson says he thinks this is way overdue for Sicily too.
Well, cool. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm all for it. There's a couple reprints I was surprised to see, and that's one of them. Standard Combat Series.
I'm trying to wait a minute. So, OCS is not for. You don't buy OCS thinking you're going to get a light play game. You're not. I don't get, even if it's a one mapper. Smolensk derailed, Barbarossa derailed. If you wanted to go start OCS, that one you can still find available at its normal price. If you're determined to start OCS, because I'm going to tell you, OCS is a phenomenal system. So if you want to get one, look for Smolensk, Barbarossa derailed. That's a good one to play with. Almost all of them have intro type scenarios, or a bunch of them have training scenarios, even all the way back to the oldest stuff. But OCS is not for the lighthearted gamer that wants to just chug along as fast as they can. If you can't do details and leave it up for a few days, don't step into it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that customer service announcement or public service announcement brought to you by Jeff. Next text. Okay, I think we're doing good on time here. Standard Combat Series. This is a very entry level, 8 pages of rules plus a couple more on each box, 10, 12 pages of rules. They
Best
have
intro system in the world.
Very good. So, I mean, it goes from Bastogne, which is a one mapper that's very small segment of bulge, and it's pretty quick playing and pretty awesome. I think that might be one of the best intro ones there is. To Day of Days, where it's the all of D-Day and it's just stupid big.
My favorite one.
And some would argue, and I don't know. Well, actually, Jeff, your opinion of Day of Days?
It's my favorite one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's some people top 5 game for me.
Some people think that and It Never Snows is a little large for SCS, which I can see what they mean. It kind of extends but it's a very super playable, fun, dumb monster. Remember, McMurray and I played It Never Snows in this last year, and we had a ball. It was fun.
And you were done in what, a month?
Yeah, it took us a month. It's just more just getting together, right?
Yeah.
Kind of trying to coordinate schedules. But it took us an hour or two a turn. I mean, it's a lot. And that didn't have that many counters, really.
Right.
So Ardennes too. So Ardennes was one that came out. It was one of the first ones made. Ardennes. It's the whole bulge, whereas the Bastogne is kind of literally kind of focused around that area, Bastogne. But Ardennes is the whole thing. Jeff, you have or have not played it?
I played the full campaign for Ardennes, and up until the Bastogne or Bust, when I played Bastogne or Bust, the Ardennes okay, so we know that my SPI Vogt am Rhein is always going to be my favorite bulge game until something else gets on me. But this one here, the Ardennes original and the Bastogne or Bust, those were excellent games because we know my opinion on the other ones that I played.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Put it this way. Put it this way. We know that there's two systems out there right now. The SCS Ardennes, if you can find it. Okay. And then Ardennes 44 from the 4X series.
Yep.
And when you ask Hexy which one will he prefer to play, it's going to be SCS Ardennes every time. Don't shoot me. Do not shoot me.
Now the Ardennes 44 one from the 4X series is more complicated than Ardennes.
Right. SCS is just great, guys. 8 pages of rules and then 2 to 3 pages at the most of specific game rules. You can't beat it.
So we both have that on pre-order, and that is the other game that McMurray has on pre-order. McMurray loves it. He's played Ardennes, right? And he's an SCS dude. That guy likes it. It's right up his alley. So that's a no-brainer. Any comments on here before I move on? Reluctant Enemies is the best starter. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. It's just now it's impossible to find, right?
Yeah, that's why I say the Barbarossa Derailed, because the Reluctant Enemies is easy. Not a lot of pieces. If you can find that cheap and you want to learn OCS, that's a good one because everything's so spread out and minimal. But like I said, I think Barbarossa Derailed is probably still in print, isn't it?
Barbarossa Derailed. Which one?
Smolensk?
No, we're talking SCS.
Yeah, I know, but his comment was about Reluctant Enemies from OCS.
Oh, geez. Oh, yep. Yeah, I don't know if Smolensk is. I picked it up. I think I picked it up used from somebody.
You got it because we were talking about it.
Yeah, but I don't think I bought it new. But anyway, I'm not sure. But you're right. That Reluctant Enemies was designed for that. An ID Jester gave up on those. I mean, it's easy to do that. It's a lot of game. Especially if you're soloing. It's not necessarily, I mean, it kind of is solo friendly in that, I don't know. I can go back and forth on that. Okay. Reprint of, now this one really surprised me. And I know I said one time on a video, Rostov 41 is my favorite SCS game. I don't even remember why I said that. I need to rewatch the video, but McMurray and Jeff will not let it go. So apparently it's my favorite. Although now I've changed that because now Victory Awaits, Victory Denied, Victory Lost is my favorite SCS game. Just so you know, those are not SCS games. But it's interesting to me that they're reprinting that because they don't do that very often. And that one just came out, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, there you go. There's the popularity of that game. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about Rostov 41.
Well, so yeah, I mean, it's fascinating to me. I will not be getting it. I don't need it unless there was some major errata, but I don't think there is. So
that's what I said. The word reprint throws me off. Does reprint you're just getting the game that they did before? They're just reprinting it because Last Chance for Gettysburg, every time they dig up some of those or in a bag or something like that, there's no changes. It's the same.
Yeah. To me, that tells me they're just literally reprinting it, taking the files, reprinting them, and selling them. So that's an interesting one to me. We both have it. We're both good. I do need to play it again. I could spend a year just playing SCS, and I probably should do that sometime.
Well, okay. So Hudson says they will update the rules, but the question is when was the last time the SCS rules were updated? It's been a while. Been quite a while. I'll guarantee you that those rules have not been updated since I came back into gaming just a little over 2 years ago. Because I haven't seen a new version. I was using the latest version when I came into playing.
Hey, what's up, Charles? Well, I mean, update the rules like just for Rostov. I mean, like you can just download those and print them off.
John, I hope they never do. I'm going to hold on to mine for about 5 more years and then sell it for $300 to Todd or Andrew.
Yeah. So Fallschirmjäger, I had a chance to get one for $90, which is an amazing price for Fallschirmjäger. And I didn't get it. What was I thinking? But I think I was thinking maybe it's not as good as we all say it is because I don't see anyone playing it.
Yeah, and you don't see me playing it.
So
I just don't see the thrill of, what was it, Amsterdam or not Amsterdam? Was it Amsterdam? No, not Amsterdam. Whatever it was, wherever they landed.
Eben Amiel or whatever.
That thing up in the north. Of
Yeah, I wish there was someone from MCS, MMP on here, because, or someone with a good memory. I am pretty sure when I kind of got into gaming, that Fallstreamer was up for a pre-order and it didn't hit its number, and that was years ago. And I thought, well, that's so weird because it's selling for like $150. But,
Yeah.
And that's why game companies say it just because this stuff has a high market doesn't mean it'll sell well.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't know. I would like it if they reprinted it. I would buy it.
Right.
I didn't buy it for $90, which was an amazing price for what it's priced now. Anyway, who knows? Charles says Rostov is his favorite SCS game. Panzer Battles is number 2. I need to play Panzer Battles again, and I need to play Rostov again. Like I said, I could just play SCS for a year, and in some ways, I think I should
easily.
TCS is dead to me, says ID Gesture. The tiny counters is a turnoff. They're small, and again, I was started to go through Ariat this year as one of my goals this year in my gaming goals, inspired by ID TAC Up Wargaming's challenge. So go check out TAC Up Wargaming. But I didn't enter this one this year because I formatted mine differently, but it inspired me to do it. Anyway, it's one of my games, and boy, I was like, oh boy, that's a lot. Because I'm learning GTS, I decided to put TCS away until after I played GTS. So
I think the thing with TCS, it hasn't hit me yet because I'm not as far enough into it yet, is a tactical level game where you can do a lot of stuff in it, but it's like a shit ton of counters on the map for a tactical level game, just a boatload.
And again, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
The way I was playing it, which I think was a little wrong, I'm like, wait, when will a turn ever end?
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, Big Board Kev, he loves TCS. Oh, now that's interesting, Charles. I was thinking about playing that and just playing one side, but tell me why you say that. I can't remember what you said in your video. While you're doing that, let me move on. We're almost done with the list here. Tactical Combat Series. We were just talking about it. Each stand is a platoon, which is interesting, but you have a lot of units on board. And I was playing a small scenario from Ariat, which is a good entry level to TCS, and it's available. Is it bagged?
Yeah. Arietti was, yeah.
Yeah. You write orders. You don't have to, but it's a part of the game. And
it amazes me, though, because there's a lot of counters in them damn games, and why they're putting them in a bag, I'll never understand. You got SCS games you can put in a bag easier than you could these TCS games.
Hey, what's up, meandering?
He meandered in here.
He did. So TCS. So the only game they've got in here, let's talk about what Jeff and I are going to do. Goose Green. It's Falkland Islands pre-order. Bag game. Jeff, go.
No,
me neither. Falklands is interesting because I was 12 when it happened, so there's some really some very unique nostalgia there, but not really my thing. Whoa, man, we're getting them all. They're coming in now. I think, is the game over? Is that what's happening?
They got 12 seconds left.
Look like it's going to be Cincinnati.
Oh Lord, Mahomes just ran across the 50. 8 seconds left. I think they're still at a field goal range. Oh, and they threw a penalty. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Anyway, but we don't want to get in trouble with the NFL. Anyway, Goose Green is for me. Got all the TCS games. John, hey, that's cool, man. If it's your thing. Here's the thing. I think it's really cool. And again, a lot of detail, a lot of research, very good historical games, it seems to me. But it's interesting to me that it hasn't. I after playing it for a little bit, I'm saying, okay, I see why it hasn't caught on like OCS and some of the others.
Okay, so yeah, and it's got quite a few modules. So OCS, and TCS and BCS. I think once BCS breaks the East Front theater, there's so many different. I mean, look, they took Smolensk and put it into a one map game in OCS. Well, you just told me now that my God, you could do 100 different engagements on the East Front in OCS. And then let's go down even lower. How many do you think you could do in Tactical Combat Series, West Front and East Front? I mean, you could just blow the doors wide open, and you could probably go for the next 2 decades and not have to worry about having a game to think of or a battle.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is that TCS game is I don't know. I don't know why that one hasn't caught on so much.
All right. Not as much. Well, obviously, so SCS is going to catch on because it's easy to play.
Yeah,
and I would be willing to bet you that a majority of the war gamers out there, they don't want to play something that they're good. Most of them can't play something where they can leave it set up for 3 months.
Right. And people burn out on that. After a while, you're like,
I do it too. I do it too. Damn.
Right. Going into overtime?
Nope. Chiefs just that penalty on Cincinnati gave the Chiefs field goal distance, and they
my gosh. I'm surprised I'm not hearing my wife yelling. So this is interesting. This is how my house works. My wife came up and said, how do we get Paramount Plus? So we went down there. I left a chat with the guys, went down, set up Paramount Plus so she could watch football. She'd cook dinner. So she'd cook dinner. Dinner was ready. So I sat there and watched the first quarter with her. And then when I was done, I said, honey, you watch the game. I'll go do the dishes. I'm like, what kind of family we got here? So she just got done. She just popped in here. That's why I turned my camera off. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. 2 minutes left. It's tight. Anyway, fun stuff. Anyway, let's see here. So let me just read some of the comments. Charles, why not both? Actually, Charles, I did think that, well, hold on. Let me back up real quick. Oh, well, hold on. Yep. Oh. Hold on. Okay, everybody. It's live. There she is.
There are 3 seconds left.
You're live for the world. Hey, everybody.
Woo! Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, God.
That's my wife.
Unless Cincinnati runs his kickoff back.
Hey, man, meandering. That's what I'm about, dude. I'm all for it. I can't even begin to tell you how much we're all about that. So, okay. All right. So let's look at let me look at, I'm going to stop sharing this screen here. So and then I want to talk about some of the comments here. And boy, I really appreciate you guys. This is exactly what I wanted. You guys to come on here. Any games on that list? Go to the Multi-Man Publishing on the Facebook post or Consum World, and you can see any games that you are excited about and games you wish they'd put on there. And I'll share the screen that, Jeff, where I typed up our notes here. Window. And yeah, there we go. So here's our list. Man, Jeff, you and I are going to have to get out of alone. This is just MMP, dude.
Good God. Good God.
I mean, we know one of these is $165.
Yeah.
This is one freaking company.
That's just MMP. I mean, I think we both have other pre-orders that are sitting out there on other stuff.
So I got at least one. So I got North Africa from 4X. Oh, by the way, North Africa from SCS, the new one, North Africa, I think is the name of it. It's very unique look on SCS, and Kev likes it. And a lot of others do, but I know Kev does. I pay attention to what he's doing. And I struggled with something in it. I'm not really sure, but it was pretty cool. Different take, North Africa. It's DAC, the OCS game in SCS. Anyway, yeah, Jeff, you and I, this is a lot of money here.
Yeah.
Armies of Blade.
Okay, so of that list right there, looks to me like we got about the same count. What, 11, 12 games?
Yeah, you got some maybe. I got some maybes. Got some maybes on here.
How many of those 12 games do you actually think are going to be fulfilled to what they're saying?
Oh, that's a good point. Like that will actually come out this year that you'll actually pay. That's a great point.
Right. Or they'll even get the pre-order up. I mean, but some of these games are 2 and 3 years have been waiting for. Well, I mean, not just here, but in other places.
Well, so Journal 14 for sure will be out.
Right.
I think Armies or Doomed, if it comes out, I think it'll probably go this year because I think they have all the files for them.
Okay.
So we'll say one of those two.
Well, if it's just a straight reprint.
Well, that's what I mean. It kind of depends if they're going to put some other crap in it. The magazine for ASLSK. BCS, they're pretty good at those games. I don't know. On to Richmond will be released.
Yes.
$165. Bam.
Yep. No doubt about that.
Grand Tactical, the magazine's coming out, but it's $40 or something. I got 5. I don't care about those 2. You don't either. Line of Battle, I don't think so. Crimea, they're pretty good at that one too. That Third Winter, and I think Crimea is going to be very small compared to Third Winter. That Third Winter went up fast, got on, and got printed. So Crimea could.
Yeah.
And then Operational Matters 2, I have a feeling I don't know, I could see it, but again, it's going to be cheap. Well, it all adds up. Ardennes 2, I have no idea how far then, but Dean's been putting a lot of good info out there. Not Dean, Carl Fung, I think. So, gosh, I don't know. Yes. And
I think we'll see that one this year because too many people have been hollering about it.
So 6, 7?
Yeah.
Man, if both Armies and Doomed come out, oh boy.
Yeah, that's yeah, you're right. It better be spread out over the damn year or I'll be freaking I don't want to see no pre-orders until after July.
Yeah. So there's our list, guys. That's a lot, but this is why I wanted to do this stream real quick because I thought real quick. It's been almost been an hour. Percy Block, hey man, we got all kinds of people on here.
Joey.
What's up, Joey? John Longshore jumped on. This is great, fantastic. McMurray is a realist. Yeah, well, he's more of a miniature guy, and he's
he dropped some coin on some miniature stuff.
Oh yeah. That's where he's not a realist in that case. I think what's funny though, I'll give this to him. He buys a lot of stuff, but he works on most of the stuff he buys.
Yeah.
I mean, he can argue that he has a pile of lead, just like a lot of guys, but so I'll give him that. He does work it, but he spends his money on wine and women. No, he doesn't do that either.
So we got like 4 minutes up here. Where did we differ?
Line of Battle.
Obvious, yeah.
Line of Battle. I'm a little, not.
Well, on GTS currently.
Oh yeah, you're not getting the magazine.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit on the ASL with the maybes on the core mods.
Right.
Kind of depends, but I think we'll kind of have to play that by ear. Yeah. As Solitarius, not a whole lot.
No.
Look at us.
We got a lot of the same pace. I mean, you like World War II. I like World War II. I like the Civil War. You like the operational level of the Civil War. So I think it's where we venture off path. Like me playing some of the Men of Iron stuff. I don't think you dabble in that.
Not at all.
Nope.
And
I didn't until I played that. So,
yeah. So, and like you have, from other companies, I keep forgetting Corson. You got Corson Pocket coming out. That'll be a chunk on your bill.
Yeah.
Have you already paid for that or no?
No, I have not. I'm going to wait till they have it. I mean, I'm on the list, so I'm going to get one.
Yeah, they haven't. I don't think they've charged yet, right?
No. They want you to, though. They want you to pay now. So.
Oh, okay. So that's a chunk of change, I know, but I'm not getting that. I think I've only got I can only think of something like North Africa 41, whatever, from GMT, another 4X.
And I'll buy that damn thing.
No, you're not. Don't.
And hopefully it won't go on my I don't like it list.
Yeah. So, as you may or may not know, everyone, I have these guys again give me a hard time about my lease game list. So what happens is I'll buy all the BCS games and I'm like, screw that. Well, here's a good example. GTS, man, greatest day. Great. I think I played a little bit. I think it was a little bit punch. And I played it. It's a lot. I was like, and I had a couple great people, Nathan included, Wise Guy History, and he'll probably never do this again. He played me, tried to teach me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. And I sold it to ID Jester for like, I don't know, $400, $500, $600, $700. I got a new car when I sold it to him. So I don't know. I'm just kidding. He actually got a good deal. The problem was MMP then like the next week put it on sale for like just ridiculous price. So I sold him to him for a good price, I felt like, but he may not agree with that, but he can defend himself. He's here. So I kind of go pretty quick in and out, and I've been known to buy games second or third or fourth, not that many times.
Yeah, he comes back around. He sees somebody playing a game, and he's like, "Damn, they look like they're having fun." So he grabs. And I can't say that I wouldn't be the same way. I'm just fresh coming back to gaming. So
Jeff keeps his. You know, most of the guys I know keep their games, and it's probably what I should do. I just get itchy. So the games that are currently kind of residing on that lease list right now is TCS and BCS.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Man, we got some good. The game's over now. They're all coming over here to. All right. Well, let's see. What are some of the comments people have been saying here? Charles is pretty much calling me out, saying to play both sides. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I've got a Super Bowl. I put my fruit in it. Yeah, there we go. Charles pretty much called me out and said, play East from front, and why not both? Come on, goober. He didn't say that, but that's kind of what he was thinking, I think. Takes time, stick with it. Which one? TCS? Well, probably all of them. Yeah. A lot of these games do. So, okay, so I started playing GTS this campaign. I'm really enjoying it. And what happens is I play some game or I watch some guys play it. It's a great time. You have a good time, social time, fun time. You're like, oh, I should own this. And it's like, well, maybe not. So like GTS, do I really need to own it? I'm playing in this campaign. I can play it. They own the game.
That order sliding thing, the order track, that's thrown me. It's not confusing me. It just, for some reason, it's not getting to me. Like, I don't like it. And I haven't even played any of it yet.
Well, I'll tell you. So that it's starting to kind of click a little bit. And I think Mitch was right. Just repetition will kind of make it sick. It wasn't making sense. I have to be able to attribute some sort of real life thing to it. So like, what does that represent? What is that abstracting? And I just need to understand. And that's why I've struggled with BCS, because there's some things in there. I'm like, bleep. I do not know what they're trying to, what does this mean? Red real AV.
Yeah.
But then if you look at some of the other, all those systems of rules, they all have some weird stuff where you just have heard it. For like hip shoot, that's not a military term, is it?
OCS, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think hip shoot is a thing, but they've used it so long that we understand it. And I think that's what happened with BCS. They're introducing all these new crates, like crossing the streams. That's obviously from Ghostbusters. It's like, what is that? What does that mean? Well, it makes sense. I can know what that means. You're crossing the streams of your supply. Perfectly makes sense to me because I'm in the logistics, so I get it. So there's just things I'm not getting. I'm just dense. Okay. Charles, I think SCS, I think McMurray and I playing that Mighty Endeavor like we did It Never Snows would be perfect. One of us, just like you're supposed to play it, one of us command the other side and kind of help each other out, and it'd be great. My dream is that MMP releases all the old historical ASL modules. Well, they are redoing Pegasus Bridge and A Bridge Too Far in a bridge, like a, what are they calling it? Like a bridge set. Those two and a couple others, if I understand what they're doing. So that'd
be funny if they put 4 bridge games in there and they called it A Bridge Too Far.
That would be funny. Charles says, thankfully, yeah, that'd be nice.
Joey, you proofed and designed that, huh? I did not know that.
I've seen a couple on their website. Under Richmond 2, all I see this year. Oh, look. All right. Thanks, John, for providing your list. Art Institute, GTS Magazine this year. Other OCS analysis next year, maybe. Yep. Cool.
John, you're getting on to Richmond too? I didn't know you dabbled in that stuff.
Yeah. John will do anything. What did Meandering Mike say here? Did I just...
You're on your own for a second. I'm sorry. I've been holding it too long.
Oh, come on. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Thanks. I think that's a light hello. I'm all in for ASL, BCS, and SCS with OCS Crimea, maybe. Tim, cool. Thanks for coming on, Tim. Let's see. GTS and SCS are good. The others I can pass on. I might like to try BCS and give it a try once to see. Yeah, I think you should try it, ID. Just, certainly I think Tony has it. Let's jump on with him and play on Vassal if you do that. Got 8 pre-orders, got another 9 to pre-order. Oh, geesh. I don't have that many. I just think I have 2 pre-order. Let's see here. The only ones to make sure you grab are the HAS. Yeah, yes, you're right, John. Yeah. So the one I'm missing is Festung Budapest. And I'm tempted by that. but it's $300-400, and that's too much. Right, exactly. Hip shoot is Wild West slang. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of hip shoot before, right? I've heard, shoot by the hip, whatever, but that's interesting from you, Joey. You really like the complex and that, so it's an interesting endorsement, good endorsement from you about that. I don't even want to talk about that. Just kidding, Charles. But you're right. It is all a thing. Hip shooters facing tanks. Yeah.
Tankers.
Agreed.
Hip shooters are not facing tanks that are equals.
John. Oh, I collect them, play them. Yeah, I'll be buried with them.
No, John. You need. Matter of fact, I was just thinking, John. We've discussed this before about your wife's future garage sale. We need to go ahead and get the flyers printed on that now.
Whoa!
So
why do you
I know ahead of time?
What are you saying there, Jeff? It's happening soon. Come on, man.
He says that his wife will have a garage sale, fire sale when he goes.
Yeah. Give your wife my number. It's again 1-800. So Meandering Mike's got half a GMT. Yeah, they look. I don't play a lot of their games, but they're a great game company.
See, Mike is like Charles. He'll put his paws in almost any era. Yeah. Whereas you and I don't necessarily do it.
Right. Yeah. And that's cool. I think that's why their channels are better than ours. They play more stuff. Pennies on the dollar. I think she might even pay us to take it away. Like, take this junk off my hand. We should create a phone tree list to give to all of our wives. That's hilarious.
Joey's got a point.
Well, okay, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. I one thing I like about it is that he's having a little bit of fun, and I think this hobby could use a little bit more of that. Like, just a little bit. We need to relax a little bit with our, because we all can get a little worked up about it's not the. But I agree with you, Joey. But I kind of also like it because it's I don't, if you can tell, I wear a freaking robe. I roll around on the floor, so I kind of like to have a little fun with this. But I think that's a little bit of my challenge, Joey. I'm just having a little trouble connecting. So I kind of wish they'd call it something else, but I also don't want them getting too crazy and, getting too military. Cause most of us don't have that background like Jeffy here and others.
Mike, a man after my own heart.
And you know, what's so funny about that is when I was a kid, all I read about was Navy and Air. That's all. I didn't even care about ground combat at all.
I had all the little plastic airplanes. I used to.
Oh yeah, I built the Airfix models, but all the books I read, I drew ships out, I drew planes, and I still love planes. Just kind of planes. I'm an airplane freak. But yeah, now I'm just the opposite as far as wargaming. Just the opposite.
I mean, I get the coolness of the narrative story that you build when you're playing one of those games. I got to admit, if that would be something that if you played it and you kept those records and then 10 years later you look back at it and you open the box and you look at it like, oh, damn. And it writes a story for you. That's pretty cool. I call hip shoots targets of opportunity when I'm playing like that. I'm flying back from a mission or I'm flying out in a reconnaissance. Oh, looky there. A line of freaking tanks.
Can you tell me when you use them?
Hip shoots. So when you're doing movement during OCS, let's say you've got a stack of armor that you want to move down this road quick, but there's something sitting in the way, like maybe a tank battalion or something. You fly in there with your Stugas. It's usually what it is. And they take a hip shoot. What they call the hip shoot. They take a shot at busting up those tanks before you move through them with your armor. Maybe you clear the road off. Maybe it's 1 step or 2 steps, and you knock it down. But the die roll is you got to roll. There's a very minimal chance for you to hit it. So think of like in SCS when we do the air barrage stuff.
Yeah,
we got to roll a certain number. Well, this number is very tiny.
Yeah. Can you not anti-air? Well, is there barrage? I mean, anti-air barrage.
So when you're doing it, there's certain rules in OCS. Joey can probably respond to this one faster than I can, where anti-aircraft or something does not get involved anti or air response. I don't remember which, because I played in the OCS in a little while, but there's certain missions where you execute them with no anti-aircraft interference. And
okay, I was just curious. And also, can they have air that is protecting their stuff?
well, in your regular air operations, yeah, you have their patrol zones from wherever active aircraft are stationed.
Air fighter sweeps?
Fighter sweeps are where you send your fighters to where their fighters are, usually at their bases, try to catch them at their bases. And all of that happens during, somewhere around the movement phase, so you can clear out stuff before you get there. It's good. The system's good. It's when I played the original one with Guderian's Blitzkrieg, the original system,
yeah,
that's one of the things they definitely modified in the newer version, because there were too many gaps where you could fly tactical bombers in, and there was not a hope or a prayer that there could be any response. So,
yeah. So ID, this is kind of my reasoning behind my goals, is to play more of the games I have. And if I am buy with a purpose. So all but one, Atlantic Wall, which was, I found a really great prize, was from Mark Ruggiero.
SPI,
Atlantic Wall, SPI, yeah, because that's another game that was on lease. Was a different Atlantic Wall. And I have Hurricane-Sales Force on lease too. It's ready to go. But anyway, Atlantic Wall, because I don't have any of those detergent boxes, and I think I love it up there. I have not been so excited about just a collector item because I just don't do that. It's cool. I would like Highway to the Right. Is that it? Highway to the Right?
Yeah, you want the version 2, the soapbox.
Version 2 soapbox. Talk about impossible to find. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
$500.
He's got 3 of them, but you'll have to cut off a leg to buy them.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is cool, Jester. So this is what I'm not going to try to play as many different, and you've been really doing good about playing different ones. And yeah, I mean, that's what we got to do. I guess my thing is I'm kind of trying to focus, even though my goal list is stupid long, focus on those SCS, OCS, so I can learn them, so I can enjoy the gameplay and not be reading my rule book all that. So Brian will quit making fun of me of being in the rule book the whole time.
Well, I'm going to say this, that when you decide it's OCS time again, you need to put Smolensk, you need to play that one. Because I think of all the ones that you had, that's going to be the easiest one for you to jump into.
Okay. Yeah. And I did get that kind of for that reason.
Why am I not big into this command and color stuff? Everybody loves command and colors, and every time I look at it, I just cannot.
Well, okay, so John, this is one that I've considered because they are putting them all up for pre-order, and it's the last time they're going to put them in this format. They're going to change the format of them a little bit. So I am tempted because I'm never going to do anything more. Well, I say never, but I'm never going to play anything more complicated than Command and Colors and Napoleonic, because I don't. It's like ACW. I don't get it. I'm not going to do any of this crazy complex stuff, and it is a fun system. And I have that you can find opponents real easy.
Right.
I got a lot of friends they're your gamers that'll play that in a heartbeat.
Here's a crowd question here. Here's a viewer's question.
Here
we go.
I'm considering it.
All right. Here's a World War II question, game playing for everybody in chat.
Now say this again, Jeff. I'm sorry, what?
It's a question for everybody in chat. World War II, simple question, 1-word answers. East front or west front? East or west? What do you prefer? I know what a few of them are going to say. East front or west front? East or west? What do you prefer in World War II when you're playing?
Oh, boy. Oh, meandering.
See, I knew Joey was going to say east. I was taking a gander that Tim would say east. I knew what you were going to say.
Well, then why'd you ask?
Just curious because, so remember we have this discussion all the time between you and I about
Yep, we do.
With the Simonich series for one. And I've played France 40, Ardennes 44, and I played Holland 44. And I can't stand Holland and I can't stand the Ardennes 44. And we kept talking about, well, why? Because there's no maneuver warfare in either one of those. France 40 at least had some maneuver warfare in it. So definitely I'm going to love the East Front. Well, get after it, Mike. I'm all about this. Yeah, Jeff, I am, and that's the second part of the discussion we have is I still have Stalingrad, Ukraine, and Normandy 44 to play, and I'm hoping those will be my saving grace because right now I'm only 1 for 3 that I enjoyed.
Okay.
And Salerno doesn't even count.
Oh boy, Peter, I'm not getting into that with ID on the channel. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. Hey, save that for Saturdays.
All right, that's you know what, Peter. Just because ID's on here, yes, West Front includes Med and North Africa. Oh, geez. McMurray's not watching, is he? Oh man.
Yeah, I think Ukraine is going to be the one I'm going to like. I didn't buy the Jefferson Starship expansion for Stalingrad 42, so.
Well, if I did a real quick count here, we are East Front 8, West Front 6. If Peter goes with them, that's pretty closer than I thought because if East was blown away, because I think people really do like East Front. They like Normandy a little bit and Bulge occasionally, but I think because of the maneuver and all that stuff, and just like what we just opened that Enemy at the Gate, and just the vastness of it's just insane.
Right. Well, I just hit turn 3 earlier tonight in that drive on Stalingrad, and I've hit a fucking road bump already for the Germans in the north. And I'm trying to work out because the Russians on the front line are still engaged, and you can't leave a zone of control unless it's by a combat result. So my Germans weren't able to clear off enough of them to just, I've got panzer divisions that have shot out. Voronezh is still looking me in the face because the Russians reinforced it massively. And I can't seem to get that. Your breakout when you played Stalingrad 42, the Case Blue scenario, was better than what I'm having right now.
Say that again?
When you did your breakout on the northern part of the map, playing Stalingrad 42, using whatever that rule was that you weren't using, your breakout has been more efficient than the one I'm having in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think that East Front, there's endless games out there that can still be made.
It sure seems like it. I mean, especially on the scale. I mean, yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting one. So Mike, I just wanted meandering. Mike did make a commitment. He did leave both, and he said East Front. So I appreciate Mike making a decision, voting one way or the other.
So we just went up another one on East, right?
Yeah. I already counted him as East.
Yeah, we're winning here.
8-6.
Oh, well, you got to add mine in.
No. All right. 9-6. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Tim. And it I think West Front, it's kind of cool playing maybe like a Mighty Endeavor, and that you're trying to do it quicker or something like that, win quicker, or maybe it's really fun on the tactical level, because there's so many battles we have in English for English people like myself. There's so much you can design for that. And for me, a lot of it's the town names and the people names and all that. I just can relate to them better. I start to get on these front. I'm like, what the blank? Like one of them on Enemy at the Gates is like 26 consonants long. I was like, what the blanket? And there's so many generals and people. I start to lose.
It's a game just trying to pronounce the cities and towns.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Milky Way. Oh, we got another West one. The Vest one. 7. Catching up.
No.
North Africa. And North Africa, since we're calling it West, there's another one. Boom. 8. 9 to 8.
My God, the Jester rule.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so was there ever any balance to World War II? I mean, even the early parts of the East Front was completely unbalanced to the Axis, whereas the ending of it was completely unbalanced to the Russians.
I think that's what he's kind of what he's getting at. It's, it started out as like it's just German, and then the Russians, I don't know.
No, sir, Joey, you cannot.
Yeah, do it. Do it. We're 9-8. Let's do it.
I know, but I think I played Vassal for about 10 minutes with Joey one night, Case Blue, a scenario. And after he moved his first time, I was done playing Vassal ever again.
Why? Because he destroyed you?
He just ran down the road, and I was like, nope, I can't do this.
I'm not going to be able to keep up with this guy.
You want somebody to teach it, he'd be the one to do it. I know that.
So Joey does put out some pretty cool. He's been putting out some interesting posts just about kind of military thinking and stuff and how it translates to games on ASL and others. So he's got some good stuff going on there. All right. I think effed up. Yeah, no doubt. Hitler fooped. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the MMP games coming out. There's a bunch of others. I mean, I didn't do this for all the other ones because I don't know. I think I'm more into the MMP game, so it's kind of what I got. But Devin was on with Heath. David Golly. Was on with David, and they talked about stuff, I think, on a live stream. And I think a lot of the other companies have done. And I'll tell you, I don't know who I said did a really good job. Oh, yeah, I was talking about OCS. GMT is really cool in that every month they update their stuff. I know there's a few that kind of linger for a while, but they're really good about this is coming out here. This is coming out. I mean, they're one of the best. Well, they're biggest, and as far as I'm concerned, and they really do it great. And I know it's
my problem with GMT is the only thing that I look forward to now for P500 is pretty much Great Battles of the American Civil War. Right.
Yeah, I know. I'm essentially the same way. I'm down to what's it face, but the 4X series. So
right.
Real quick, I'll do a goal video, kind of catch up on the goals, probably 1st of February. But I'll tell you one thing, and it's kind of matter with this. Having these goals has helped me in my purchases. We kind of touched on this a little bit. And I do like the chat going on in here. I did not get the Russian campaign, if that's what you meant. I didn't get that. If I get that one, I'll just buy the old Russian campaign from Avalon Hill.
Yeah, your goals are influencing my purchasing too.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's helped because that Band of Brothers from Worthington came out, and I was like, that's interesting, and it's a tactical level. But guess what? One, I've been buying all this ASL, so figure it the frick flip out and play it. Also, I have Heroes of Normandy, not the lock and load, but Heroes of Normandy, the Devil Pig Games, kind of cartoonish video game looking thing. That's kind of a fun squad level game. I've got so much of that. It's like, make that your simple one. That's your simple squad level game. So,
please.
So I did not going to buy Band of Brothers. And the reason I like ASL is all the historical ASL modules.
Right.
And nope, the only people that have something like that is ATS. And until someone, anyway, so
I know nothing about ATS. Not interested in it.
I would be interested in it if it was run very differently, because I would probably do that one instead of ASL.
Really?
Because almost all their maps are historical.
Oh.
That's almost the only way they do it. Now he's doing more geomorphic, of course, but it's 50 pages of rules, and it's just way more, but yet enough detail.
Right. Well, you can't tell me that in an ASL that if you created, I mean, let's just say they didn't do any geomorphic stuff. Let's just say they did all historical stuff. You could take almost any fight, and I guarantee you can create 10 scenarios.
Yeah. Most people like the geomorphic boards, though, by the way. I mean,
yeah,
because it just allows you to do a lot of stuff, and you can do, yeah. I mean, talk about those little boards. You can play on a game board like this big.
Right.
And do so much game in that. I mean, you can do that with the historical map, then you got the historical map, and you got all these special rules. So, yeah, well, John, that's my thing. But
yeah, I'm not hearing as much chatter to these people playing these solo tank games and these solo sub games and these solo air. I'm not seeing as much. Maybe I'm not looking, but I'm not seeing as much of it.
Really, I think.
Now, I tell you what I am curious about, and this is really off the wall because I don't really like those. I'm kind of curious to see what Lock and Load does with the Stuka game. Because that is the only kind of air power I want to see on a game.
That is interesting. It's kind of like what's the DVG game about A10 and Apache Leader or whatever?
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Apache Leader.
Yeah, I guess that one could be kind of cool.
Yeah. So so what was Peter, can you I know it's hard to do this. Sorry everybody. Can you kind of explain that a little bit real quick? And it's gonna be hard on typing. Jeff, can you vamp a second? Thank
you. What am I doing? Oh, he had to run off. Stuka Ace versus Mustang Butter Bar. All right, so the hunter type games and leader type games do not interest. Yeah, see, Peter, I'm the same way. They just don't. ASL, great game, just showing its age now. It made 40. Yeah, see, okay, so Todd has the ability to do all 3 tiers of ASL, and I just don't, even though he sent me a lot of stuff and I have a lot of stuff for it. And I just bought the rule book for it and everything. I think it's going to go too far for me. And right now, if you told me, hey, Jeff, granted, I just played an SK scenario the other night, a couple of days back there, and I feel it's just a short one. But if you told me right now, and this is going to be odd because I haven't got enough into it yet, and I know they're not the same scale, I'm sorry, but I'm thinking deep down tactical level. Right now, I'm going to kind of go towards TCS for me because of the complete historical environment. But it is still a lot. So, but yeah, Jester's right. I mean, 40 years ago, small counter, small map. Yeah. But I got to admit, I do like the starter kit stuff. And I think we were talking about that the other night, that is there any reason why you couldn't play every game using starter kit rules? I mean, you'd be missing some stuff.
You got to do a lot of redesign on the scenarios, but yeah, you could do it. I guess.
Sucker. Yes, Joey. Very much so, I believe.
That for sure, Joey.
BRL 1192. What's that?
What's that?
BRL 1190.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something that Critical Hit did with ATS or something. It was. But Peter, I'm a little curious. I was looking at the ASL mini scenarios in 3. They're called like little pocket scenarios or something. Is it because every scenario was just for the maps to include the magazine, and usually those magazine? Wait. Yeah, tell me. I'm gonna have to look that up. What that means. Okay, hold on. So in ASL Journal 13, there are 4 scenarios. There are 4 scenario sheet, 1 pagers, complete with map. 6. Oh, well, that's interesting. Wait, I thought there was one, John, but oh, that's cool.
Hey, the campaign system didn't isn't one of those games we were just talking about, they have a campaign system in it?
Yeah, maybe he's thinking of like a generic campaign system, so you could use them with the geomorphic boards, because those are usually designed very specifically for each campaign. Oh, that's kind of interesting, Jeff. Did you catch that? So these pocket scenarios, like it's the scenario description and then the map, right? Everything's on 1 page, like 8.5 by 11 or whatever.
Really?
That's kind of cool. I might have to get that just because that's unique. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jester, that's what I hear everybody saying, that we miss, and Todd says it to me too every now and then, that we miss way too much by playing starter kit. But okay, so I'm going to say that, like, Jester, I know you almost every evening you play something I'm going to call it quick play because you're pretty much capable of getting done in one night. And I think that's what starter kit is for me, because I don't want to miss out on what ASL provides, but I don't know if I want to have something like the normal big games that I play that's set up for a month. And I think ASL is the one that does it for me. Because even TCS, you're not playing TCS in a night, at least not me.
Yeah, not me. Although we got John Haley 974. Boom.
Yeah, John, he pops those stuff on me. John, I apologize that I'm not playing that now. It is in my plans. I think Todd and I both have some of that written down to look at.
Yeah.
And I do like what I've learned about the system so far. So just I had this test play with the Wilderness game. I'm sure I'm going to get up to do a little bit more of that, because there's some more scenarios still to be done that are bigger. So, and I was happy, and I was lucky enough for Stigler happened to have a copy of the Drive on Stalingrad from SPI. and he sent that to me. So that had to go on the table immediately. Somebody on Reddit actually asked me today or last night, man, what did you do to clip the corners of those counters? They look so nice. And I'm like,
that's
boy, it's somebody else that doesn't know that there's clippers out there for that stuff. And John, I will. You can bet when I go back to TCS, I wouldn't doubt if Todd would either.
Yeah, I'm going to need questions of that. I was just thinking about see if I can get Kev on with me to help me. He knows it pretty well too. So
good stuff, guys. A lot of good input in here this evening.
Yeah, this is awesome. Once those games got done, we were good.
Yeah, we didn't. Everybody popped in. We didn't.
Yeah, I agree. ID. I mean, starter kit is really cool. I mean, even starter kit, there's a lot going on there. But yeah, that's why. And the scenarios are typically designed shorter. And now the new full ASLs are a little shorter too. You get those 80s, 90s scenarios for ASL.
Right. Hey, John, right here on my middle screen. I don't have my loggy capture so I can't show you. I'm playing one of John Tiller's. I'm playing the Smolensk game right now. I have it up on my screen. Love those war game design group games, and I love the decisive campaigns and the combat mission stuff. I just don't play enough of it. But when I get a headache of looking at cardboard counters on a paper map, this is always something. This or shoot tanks, always something to come and do different. What's Peter got going? Is he telling you what was in that magazine?
Yeah, so on those small scenarios, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. I should just get those. That's that's Journal 13. Is that right? I'm guessing. I guess I totally misunderstood what was in there.
Yeah, ASL Journal 13 is a great value.
So that was one that. So you could get the PDF. Well, I don't know. Is that available PDF yet? If it is, you can PDF that. There's no need to buy the print copy.
Right, because those come with the scenarios are usually with stuff that you already have, right?
Correct.
Maps and counters.
Yep.
I guess that makes that good. That's simple. You put out all the counters you need with maybe it's in multiple games, but then boom, now you have the ability to create scenarios knowing that the users already have or the players already have everything else. That's a good thing. That's a great thing for a magazine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with ASL. You run that risk. You design a thing with minor allied, and they haven't had that thing out for years, so no one owns it. Well, not no one, but
so that ASL rule book that you forced me to buy the other night, is that worth printing off, or is that not? Don't need to print it off because it'll be updated anyhow.
I mean, that's a lot of pages to print off.
Well, yeah, but would it not make sense because when they update it, boom, now all of a sudden you're.
Yeah, I mean that's all kind of the point of it.
I'm not like you though. I can't go play a game and have my iPad in my hand and look at rules. I'm terrible. I can't do that. That's why I think that's why I can't play Vassal.
No, I'm with you. I don't see it being my primary rule book for sure. I don't know. I would vote no on that, but unless you do it as a ring binder, but that was the whole kind of concept. They did the ring binder, but then they didn't do it. I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. I'd still like to have all the geomorphic maps, and my buddy has them, but they sell for like over 300. And I was going to buy them from him. He said, "Man," he said, "Don't make me do that to you." He only had one set, and he could have made a fortune off it. So,
yeah. So I guess this is one reason I'm not huge on getting the journals because I was trying to turn it into ASL talk here, but because the overlay and the maps, I mean, I'm like, I don't want to start inventorying that stuff. I'm like, ugh,
I don't like that overlay stuff.
Whoa, wait, what? Really?
I don't like it. I got a box back there. What's I got a desert one with a bunch of little sand dune shit you put on the map.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. You know what? Okay, that's it. We just settled Jeff's spending spree. Historical only.
$64 for Journal 13. Oh, that's true. Yeah. If that's on their site. Yeah.
Ritter Creek, you know him, don't you?
Oh, yeah. No, Ritter Creek is a good place to buy it. And also Gamers Armory in South North Carolina.
Right, John. And that's why Todd likes it. He can word search.
Yeah. That's really the reason. I mean, it's just kind of another way to have it. And,
ACC.
Well, good. I'm in good company.
You guys get in love, but I'm not seeing it. What am I missing that you would tell me? What am I missing with TCS? You guys keep okay. All right. So TCS is basically let's take squad leader. Yeah.
Panzer leader, because they're platoon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. But you're playing historical engagements. The maps are historical.
Yep.
You can play full-blown campaigns. You can play scenarios. The difference is a small scenario in TCS is not going to be a small scenario like squad leaders where you might have a dozen counters on the map. And this is what Todd and I were talking about. You're going to have, like, I played that one in France, and there's a lot of counters, and you've got a lot of activity. Now, granted, I will say this, that the sequence of play, once I understood impulse movement for vehicles and stuff like that, I started to flow even in the early stages with how the game functions. But there's a lot going on in TCS. I mean, an awful lot. So, and yet, Jester, it's another one of those games that you got to set it up. You'd probably leave it up. I mean, unless you're playing it on a Saturday all day or a Sunday all day, maybe. But there's a lot of moving pieces in that game, and it's very good. And that's probably why Big Board likes it so much, is because it does have a lot of intricate stuff to it. But like I say, I've only had 2 of them on the table, older versions, a couple of times, and as I was starting to learn the rules to it, and I thoroughly enjoyed what I was doing.
And Jester, the big part of it is writing commands. You don't have to do it that way. You can play without it.
Yeah, that's like 8 pages of rules you can skip.
But as I played it, Jeff, I can see why doing that is nice, because you got so much units. You really do need to think, okay, these guys need to focus here and do here. These guys here, meet here. I mean, I can see why it's not thrived. There's a lot going on. It takes a long time to play.
I'll tell you, it's one good thing about MMP is they give you, in a lot of their game series, especially the ones with intricate command rules, they give you, and they build it into the game. Line of Battle is another one where you can dump the command system. Like in Line of Battle, you can just use command radius, and it works very well. Where you can dump the orders writing stuff down to minimal. I will say MMP does a great job with that. Gives you options. But I mean, it's good. I agree with the orders writing because it takes me back to my military days of writing an operations order and putting phase lines and objectives and stuff on there. And that stuff is great to control your actions across a broad front. It is. It's a very good thing. But, if I want to blow through something a little faster, I mean, I know all of us that play solo, we look at a map. And so we are the overall commander. All right. I know that if I've got 3 companies attacking across a broad front, I know company A over here, I need them to do blah, blah. Company B needs to do blah, blah. Company C needs to go blah, blah. That order's already here. Okay. So in a real battlefield, what happens is, because things are never fluid or they're too fluid, I got to change. Well, what's the difference between me and my brain saying, I'm changing this and I'm moving these guys? I mean, World War II, we're talking radios anyhow, except for the Russians. So that's how I get my orders out of it. Now, the Civil War games, love it, because that order might not get there. It might not arrive. That guy might fall off his horse and bash his head on a rock on his way to deliver the order. So that Civil War brigade system that they create, I love that. But I can't imagine playing RSS with those rules. That's way too much. Thus, we have Line of Battle.
Oh, yeah. ASL can get crazy.
What's that? The guys did D-Day? Was it last year those guys had a D-Day one set up where they had all those boards, all the coastal boards?
Dude, look at the Red Barrack. I mean, the East Front Stalingrad stuff, man. Holy mackerel. You're a division? I mean, at the squad level?
Oh, my God, no.
or that Pervokia, what is it? Pervokia, whatever the part of the Kursk or not. Yeah. That's a historic one. I don't know, dude. 100 tanks on the. It's crazy.
And they're single tanks in ASL, right? I mean, those are individual vehicles.
Individual tanks.
Where in TCS, it's a platoon. So.
Right. That's not what I was going to put. That one. I was going to put. This one's making me think about my lease here. Joey's pushing the lease lever.
There's a couple of TCS ones I don't have. I can't remember where they are off the top of my head, but Red Factories. That's the Red Factories. That's the new one we bought, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I play Prokhorovka in World of Tanks every night. So.
Ugh. What's I going to say? Anyway. Okay. I said an hour, and we're now at an hour, almost 2 hours.
You knew better than us going an hour. That was never going to happen.
Well, I know, but man, these guys jumped on here, and they're just
good
great.
Conversation. I mean, look at the list of people we got in here in the range of stuff that is played amongst these groups. We got coin players, all right. We got ASL players. We got monster game players, all right. We got operational type shit guys that play a bunch of that stuff.
We got Arkham Horror players.
Yeah, we got Arkham Horror players. It's great. It is, Mike. You're right. This is good conversation. I'll sleep so much better tonight.
Oh,
not Todd won't though, because now he's got to worry about what games to put out on lease. So he'll toss and turn all night.
Man, I got to ship them.
It's fun, and I think it's a good hobby. It keeps me out of trouble other than spending money. You know.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's when I do. Yeah. One's come to the door and said, I thought you were going to be done. I said, man, I got my 18 adoring fans. I can't leave them hanging. So, hey, everybody, seriously, I'm not going to go through all the names here, but great conversation. Some of these people have channels. Check them out. Go Jeff's, watch all of his videos, Course ID. I'm going to forget people, Meandering Mike, blah, blah. I'll like these guys. Videos, go watch them all. Sum them up.
Yep, lots of good stuff out there.
Give them the big old thumb. Thanks for the conversation, guys. I mean, it's been fun. We're going to look forward to being poor in 2023, not only because, everything's more expensive, but also because we're going to be buying 55,000 games.
Yep.
Well, yeah, well, exactly. 100%. That is enough.
Still waiting for Jester, who 8 months ago said he was going to put some of his war games up for sale. And I haven't seen that pop yet. And my God, if you give one away that I want that's so bad that I would pay you for.
But I mean, that is one reason I go on Fly and Lease, kind of help balance out that budget. I'll be real honest. So
good stuff, guys. Thanks everybody for coming on here chit chatting with us.
It's been awesome. Conversation. Yep. We'll see you the next time we go live. I'd say we'd give you notice, but I'm not going to. So we'll talk to y'all later. That'd be awesome. We'll see you.
Peace.